Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday night. That can only mean one thing. This is Around the Pound. And once again for this month, I am your host, Marcus Shadow. And joining me... yes, we're looking at trailers again. And as you can see from the bright, not-so-smiling faces we have on webcam, joining me...
I keep mentioning they can't see the squares.
Yeah. Well, they can see your face now.
Hi.
So, as you can see, we have Chriz the Mole.
Hi.
And we have James Phoenix.
Hello.
There he is in his stashy goodness. And we have a special guest with us today. All the way from the land of pain, we have Pewbot. That's great.
And that only works though if Jim clicks my box. Click my box, Jim. And introduce yourself again, Pew.
All the way from the land of pain, we have Pewbot.
Ha ha ha, you're so funny.
Pew, 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 pew. Okay, I will stop
Nice.
that.
You can click off his box now.
I think he would have.
But yeah,
It's Jim. He knows how to click the right boxes.
But yeah, today we're going to be looking at Fantastic Four. No, not the cartoon. No, not the shitty movie. No, the new movie that could or could not be shitty. And that is what we're going to be discussing today, is whether we think this movie is going to be shit. And appropriately enough, I'm wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt. Because Marvel, and because he used to be in Fantastic Four for a little bit, and he was like a Fantastic Four reservist.
And appropriately enough, I'm wearing Dragon Ball GT because we're talking about what could be a shit adaptation.
True, true. Also, people will take note. I'm a new friend. I have a Riker vinyl.
Stay puffed.
Yes, you do have a Stay Puffed.
Rita.
Well, at least she'll keep you awake.
What, with masturbating?
Oh.
No.
Oh, that's not what he meant. Okay.
No, that's what he does to stay awake.
Mm-hmm.
Magic rod, make my phoenix grow.
It's cool. We all masturbate to inanimate objects. My Stay Puft wasn't always white.
Oh, he used to be Slimer?
He also wasn't that big.
Ah. But yeah, Fantastic Four. I guess this trailer looked okay. You know, we got to see the four primaries. We got some quick shots of Doom, who looked awesome. You know, they seem to be doing him right this time. He's got the mask. He's got the rivets on the mask. He doesn't look like Cole from Charmed.
The mask looked okay, but I wasn't crazy about the suit.
Fair enough. You didn't get much of a look at the suit, but I don't know. As long as the mask is good, as long as the actor portraying him is doing a decent job, I think I can live with the suit.
I will say I like all the costumes and looks in this film.
Yes.
Like Thing and Doom and stuff. I think they've hit that note of being sort of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe of realistic without being too realistic, so there's enough comic book elements in there that it's recognizable, but it's still realistic at the same time.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I can agree with that as well.
Also, for the record, that's the suit.
Fair enough. That's the suit?
Yep.
Fuck, okay, the hood is cool, the mask is cool, what the fuck is he wearing?
That was my thing.
Okay then.
Like I said, in the trailer though, he looked cool.
Yeah, he did.
As for the normal suits and stuff like that, like I said, it could be one of those, like they might be using CGI to improve it. Like, as much as I don't like Dragon Ball Evolution, the Uzaru looked completely different to how he normally looked. Like, if you look at that picture Jim sent us, he's on a green screen. The mask and hood aren't as green or colourable as they are in the actual trailer. It stands to reason that they're using CGI to then bring out all the textures in. Like, they've made it that colour so they can bring out the colour in it with different textures.
True. Is it me or did Mole's camera freeze that whole time?
I wasn't really looking at it.
Am I frozen now?
No, you're fine. It was just when you were speaking during that time, your camera was kind of barely moving at all.
Yeah, it might be because I had to open up a new tab and do the fucking photo and shit at the same time, so I could look at it and actually point to different stuff on it.
Fair enough. And that is a possibility. It could be a GIMP suit. You're absolutely right. There's only really a couple things I took exception to with this trailer. Well, 3 things. One, for whatever reason, I don't like Reed in this. He doesn't feel like Reed to me. That's kind of it's kind of the complaint you had, Mole, with the other Fantastic Four movies. When he walks into the room, to me, he doesn't feel like the smartest guy in the room. He feels more intelligent than the other version of Reed Richards, but he seems intelligent in that douchey nerd kind of way. Like, you know what I mean? As opposed to actually being intelligent and just not giving a shit because he is that intelligent. It's more he's intelligent with something to prove because he's a nerd, and we lost Jim.
Yeah, it happened again. We lost Jim.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, with Reed, personally, I've got over my complaint with Reed by thinking about it and stuff like that and just rewatching the trailer a couple of times. I've got over that complaint. Because my thought is, when it comes to Reed, essentially, he's... what's the word? He's like a young Reed just starting off. And Reed still seems intelligent. He seems like the most intelligent guy in the room, but they haven't gone overly arrogant with it, which makes sense because he wasn't always arrogant in the comics. Not always. That's more who he's become. So it's sort of like Man of Steel logic, or Batman Begins logic of, I'm okay if like Batman in Batman Begins doesn't seem like the world's greatest detective, because he might eventually get there on the journey. I'm okay if Reed isn't as arrogant as he normally is, because he hasn't overcome anything to make him that arrogant yet. So it's like Man of Steel. I'm okay with Man not being a pure hero because he needs to learn to become a hero. And it's like, I'm okay with that. It's an origin story. I want to see Reed grow, and you can't make him grow if you start him off at the pinnacle of where he grows to.
This is true. Seems like Jim is having some real issues there. Might be the same thing that happened to him last time. You want I should go usurp the X-Pound?
You can do if you want.
Technical difficulties, people. I shall be back momentarily. Let me drop him a message.
I'll do that if you want while you swap.
Okay, yeah, just let me know I'm going to take the X-Pound.
But what did you think of Reed and stuff, Q?
I think it's really interesting how young they are. Just as it's a whole really new feel from the previous movies. Not that they were like good or anything to base it off of, but I don't know. It just seems kind of odd that they're so young, and given so much responsibility to someone who's under the age of 30. So.
Yeah, to be fair, the Fantastic Four are meant to be fairly young, but like I said, at least at first, but we don't, which is fine, and it means the actors are young enough that they could, the actors are young enough that I could easily see 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 movies coming from this. Like, there's already talks of them crossing it over with the X-Men franchise. I could easily see them doing this with this cast and doing their own little cinematic universe.
What
if the characters are young enough. So it's like they seem young enough, and I'm really interested to see where it goes.
what I really like is I really like the portrayal of Dr. Storm. He's really cool. I like his character a whole lot, and I also like that he's kind of Dr. Storm, like the dad, same race as Johnny, and Sue's the adopted one.
Oh, is that how they're doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going with one of the origins from one of the comics. I think it may possibly have been Ultimate. I can't remember right now. But basically where Sue and Johnny were adopted brother and sister, but they do still have that close bond because it makes them feel more like a family for today's audience.
I guess it still feels kind of wrong to me. That was going to be my second thing that I have wrong with this. I'm like, I didn't like about it. I'm like...
And I really like that one scene in the trailer where he's like, just where the fuck are my children? Where the hell are my children? Like, he like genuinely cares about them, and he has something he wants to support them with besides, hero, save the world, or whatever. He's like, no, these are my fucking children, and I want them to be okay. I want them to succeed, I don't want them to be like, who knows what the fuck's gonna go on. But he seems genuinely cared.
Yeah, it's like Fantastic Four were one of, if not the first family of comics. And in today's society, a lot what used to be the family isn't, quote, basically like the other ones where it used to be like, oh, you need a mom, a dad, and a boy and a girl, and it's the perfect little family. Nowadays, there are stuff like step families and adopted people getting rehoused and stuff, and they still have that closeness of what makes a family a family. Because what makes a family isn't necessarily blood. It's the people you were raised with. It's how you feel in here.
True.
Did you? And also, Marcus, as you're now on the X Pound, yeah, we got Jim back, and you're on the X Pound. Did you manage to get your little? Did you make sure to unclick the boxes so that whoever talks shows up?
Yeah, by default, none of them are selected, so we're good with that.
Okay, I was making sure. And we don't have Jim back.
Uh-oh, that's not good. But yeah, fair enough.
I think the way they, at least in the trailer, the way they have the thing, how he's just kind of like a rock, like, boulder thing, and he kind of breaks out of it, and whenever, like, broke out of the boulder, what's left of him is, like, the thing, So that's why he's, like, all rocky and stuff, because he was just a whole, like, fucking rock thing, like, that was just supposed to stay stagnant, and then he broke out of it. So, like, that's more, like, I feel like an explanation why he looks, like, super rocky, because he wasn't supposed to, like, survive, and he just broke out of this boulder. Rather than, wow, you have the worst skin mutation ever, which I thought would be, like, weird, but this makes more sense to me.
I can see that. And are you back, Jim?
Nope.
No. Fair enough. For people wondering whenever we say that, like I said, you can't see the little squares at the bottom whenever we record this, but there's little squares to show me Pew, Marcus, and Jim. And we keep seeing Jim come in and out because he's experiencing technical difficulties. It's nothing he's intended to do or anything like that, so... But yeah, like I said with the Thing, I like how the Thing looks. I also love the chemistry between the characters. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, that scene of how long's he gonna take to get in to arrive in there, and it's 2 minutes, and you just see Thing jump out the fucking thing, it'll land in a car, flip it the fuck over, explosion, and then he just turns and goes, could be less than that. It's like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is totally a Thing and Reed style thing of doing. That's totally them.
Yeah, I hope they give him the line, though, that otherwise he's not the Thing.
It's clubbering time?
Yep.
I'm just going to make the comment just because of one of our previous reviews. What if they just take its clobbering time and reintegrate it into a brand new way? So he's saying the same thing, but a completely different way.
It's time to knock things over.
Yeah. That would totally be the same as the Amazing Spider-Man not saying with great power comes great responsibility. Same thing.
Touché.
Had to include that because he's not Spider-Man unless he can say great power, great responsibility. Unless he learns that, and Uncle Ben's like, no, there's something I want to tell you, and he's all really vague. I fucking hated that. Hated it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the third thing that kind of annoyed me with this, that I took exception to with this trailer, is the fact that they get their powers from a Stargate that Reed built. What? No!
Wasn't that like the negative zone or whatever they entered? Because I remember like in a lot of stuff they went to the negative zone.
It may possibly be their interpretation of the negative zone, but I think it's because previously in Fantastic Four, it's always been like the little shitty rocket that easily breaks and leaks radiation, which was dumb. But they want to distance it from the original, so they're still getting them to go into space. But it's not a case of all these untrained people are now suddenly being able to go into space like that, because that shouldn't happen. Instead of making it really convoluted, they've gone with an explanation that still allows them to enter space, but makes it a little different.
Yeah, because like Reed actually did like make a way to go to the negative zone, so like that's something they could actually do. So that's not like beyond the realms of possibility or like unexpected at all.
Yeah, I put this into the category of being like basically Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Of how many people here like the fact Venom came from space and Spider-Man wore his suit, and everyone likes that with the films and the cartoon. But Venom was meant to be something they acquired in the Secret Wars. What the fuck? He wasn't supposed to be that origin, but people always go with that origin because it's the easiest and most convenient method. But it's like, well, that doesn't always work. If you can't do Secret Wars, or if you don't want to do that in Secret Wars, then fair enough, he comes from space. He's still from an alien world, just like the other thing. It's just done in a different way. Or the difference between bitten by a radioactive spider and genetically modified spider.
True. I don't know, those are my three things with the trailer.
The only real thing I seem to hate here, and this is completely arbitrary, is that Fantastic Four has been associated with a circle and then a 4, not a square and then a 4. Yeah! It's been associated with a circle, and then inside the circle is a 4, not a square and then the 4.
I'm okay with a square.
I just feel like, what are you trying to be all cool and edgy with your squares and your 90-degree angles? Oh, you're so cool.
I would make the case.
I'm just being completely ridiculous.
Yeah, you are, because I would make the case with the logo. Do you like the TV show The Flash?
Yes.
His logo's different.
I don't really familiarize myself with the logo of the Flash.
Basically, we're on the circle as they show in the show, and he might eventually get that. But he's meant to have white on his logo with the lightning and stuff. It's not supposed to be as it is on the TV show suit, but it works. It's a cool logo for the show, and this works because they wanted to distance it from the previous Fantastic Four movie logos.
I'm completely nitpicking and like half sarcastic / ironic, but I'm not as familiar with the Flash logo as I am with the Fantastic Four logo, so that doesn't like bother me as much because I've always associated the Fantastic Four with Circle 4, and that's the only thing is square and 4. It's like, what? Squares? You can't do that. How about a triangle next time? You're so cool. No, but
like I said, I make the case. I still make the case comic logos do tend to change. It's easy for you to see it change into that. It's like Superman. When he first started, it was just an S, but now everyone knows his shield with that particular S.
Like the diamond and then
became
the
more
S.
famous. Yeah, exactly. It's like everyone now knows that, but he used to just have just a regular S.
Yeah, like it's just completely arbitrary, personal thing. I don't know. Circles are more friendly. Squares are not as friendly.
It'll be interesting to see if they use the circle in the movie because it'll look weird if Johnny has to summon the Fantastic Four, and instead of being able to do it all quick like in the circle, he's got to like make fucking right angles and make a box to put the 4 in.
That would be pretty funny.
Why not take him as long?
It might even be quicker if he, like, has to use less space for
Like
a square.
this. Circle. Square.
Dude, it'll just look weird in the sky, but true. It's like, as a
But
logo,
yeah.
that's fair enough, but if you're going to use it as like a signal to summon everybody else, it's like, that's just going to look weird.
Also, I liked Herbie before. You're talking about Herbie. So, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, it'd be like if Batman showed up on the roof of Gotham PD without like a rectangle bat signal for Gordon. It just wouldn't be right.
Yeah, but that's because
Here,
that
Gordon,
would
this is my new chess logo.
Yes, but that would be because the rectangle Batman would actually have to be a rectangle light, and that's not how lights work. Because Batman has an oval-shaped emblem, yet he still has a circle for the spotlight.
True.
But it was a case of, yeah, like I said, I like Herbie Pugh. I wasn't against Herbie. I just said technically he shouldn't exist because he was at one point meant to be a replacement for Human Torch. I'd rather have Human Torch. But I still like Herbie. He's fun.
Yeah.
And fun fact for you, Pew.
Yo.
That Herbie, in my show I've been rewatching a lot because I do love that show of Superhero Squad.
Mm-hmm.
He's voiced, according to one of the Wikipedia pages, by, wait for it, Tara Strong.
Nice.
Wait, isn't he like a dude?
He is, but he's a little robot. It's like, I'm Herbie.
Interesting. Wait, is the superhero squad? That's the Chibis, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Superhero Squad, hero up.
Yeah. Simone, you reckon they're gonna have Alicia in this movie like they did in the first run of Fantastic Four?
Maybe, or maybe they will leave that to a sequel.
Felicia? Who's Felicia?
Alicia.
Oh, Alicia.
Ben Grimm's girlfriend.
Yeah, the blind chick.
Yeah.
Felicia is Black Cat Pew.
Yeah, but I think the
I went there.
Yeah, I hope they don't like include the Puppet Master stuff ever because there's no way to do that without looking completely retarded.
Fair enough.
I mean, unless you're doing straight up possession. Like, otherwise, if you're like, oh, I control your arm, or I control your legs, or whatever, it just, what the fuck are you doing? You look so weird. Like, stop this now. You just look weird.
Yeah, you may look weird, but I imagine when they do it if they did it live action, it would be more like it would be similar to hypnosis, like, but they would be fully awake, like, oh my god, my body's going on its own, and it wouldn't look as weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Every time I've seen that, it just looks so retarded, and it's like, oh my god, like, I can't even take you seriously anymore. I'm just gonna stop and laugh. I don't even want to stop you. Continue.
And I will say this film is the second superhero film I'm most looking forward to.
What's the first?
Really?
The
Batman v
first
Superman.
is, Batman v Superman. That looks fucking awesome. This one, I like how it looks. It looks like it's going to keep the tone of Fantastic Four, but not necessarily as much of the goofy elements. It looks in similar tone, like I said, either the Marvel cinematic tone that people like to talk about how it's campy but yet realistic at the same time, or if you want to be more accurate, you could say the X-Men one, which did it first. Just saying. But it's a case of with the X-Men ones, of like, okay, they're not wearing like the yellow mask for Wolverine, which I want to see, but they're wearing more the black latex stuff. It still looked cool. It still felt like fantastic. It still felt like X-Men. It was just made into a way that was a little less ridiculous, one might say.
Yep. And I love that they poked fun at like the comic stuff too, just as an inside joke for the the fan stuff. Yeah. But I like they're like, well, what did you expect us to wear? Yellow spandex?
We have Jim.
Why do I have effects on? I didn't do that.
I don't know. You look weird.
Even with them off.
Ha.
Funny.
Yeah, we have
what's come up so far, Jim, just to get your opinions, is the Sue and Johnny being adopted, Reed himself, and the Fantastic Four logo.
Okay.
Because it's now square, not circle. Your
And the
thoughts,
Fantastic
Jim?
Four Stargate.
Well, that as well. The new way of going into space instead of spaceships, which was completely ridiculous and unrealistic anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because who the fuck builds a spaceship that leaks that much radiation? Seriously. It's like the one thing they're designed not to do.
I guess Reed's not as smart as he was. Not as smart as he would lead people to believe.
I don't
You
think
know,
the case is meant to be.
I was saying, you have to remember, this is Reed Richards, the stupidest smart guy in the Marvel Universe.
Well, I would make the case that could also be Spider-Man.
True.
Because he makes a lot of stupid decisions and is pretty smart when they use him right, but he always forgets his intelligence whenever the story suits him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but yeah, what did you think about the adoption, Jim? And we also talked about the looks of various stuff like Thing, the logo being square, and the adoption and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on everything and like, how they get their powers in this? Go.
Well, you
Spotlight on Jim.
mentioned it was part of the Ultimate origin, which is fair enough. I understand going with that. It's a little bit different, and it's still out there, but it's nice to have a little change over from the old they went into space, got hit with cosmic rays, and it's nice to give them something different, at least a little bit. So I like that part. I don't have anything. I don't have a problem with the square logo. I think it looks kind of cool. I have no issue with that.
I didn't say the teleportation thing was in the Ultimate. I said the adoption was. The other thing of the spaceship thing, I made the comment if it's the same way as Venom came from space, not Secret Wars. Right. I'm like, I'm okay with it. It gets the end result the same, or genetically modified spider instead of radioactive.
Yeah, that works too. Which is fair enough. Yeah, I'm up for changes with that. Like I said, I wasn't all that attached to the circular logo. I'm willing to give the square one a shot, and it makes it a little bit different, so that's kind of cool. As for the adoption thing, I don't have a big problem with it. I do think it does make it a little bit awkward, but as long as they, pass it off when they first introduce the characters in the movie, and they'll even mention it, or they just say, all right, oh, we're adopted, or oh, we're half siblings, or whatever. Fine, I have no problem with that. You want to do that? That adds more diversity to the team. I'm okay with that, as long as it is explained properly.
Apparently, it's going to be explained, or it'll at least be implied, because the actor playing Johnny has come out and said they're definitely, as far as the script is concerned, they're adopted.
Okay, fair enough. That still works. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that as well.
Yeah, that's fine. The look of the Thing was okay. It wasn't the worst I've ever seen. It was kind of acceptable. I mentioned I didn't like Doctor Doom's suit, his mask, and helmet and cape were cool, but I didn't like the way the suit looked. But that might be just a CGI thing that might need to be fixed. So they might be fixing that in post. So we'll see how that ends up looking in the movie.
Yeah, because like I said, it looks different in the shots than it does in the trailer. Because the trailer, that's like a really vibrant green. Whereas in the photos, it looks more completely washed out, like they'll add it later. Like they couldn't use the green because green screen.
That's fair. And, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah, and as for Reed himself, I do agree he's a little bit young to be playing the part, because Reed is supposed to be a slightly older gentleman, and he has this kind of experience in his degrees, that's why he's so smart. I understand why you'd want young heroes, but at the same time, it's a little awkward Reed being that young, because if you're going to end up having him in relation to other superheroes, it's going to look odd having him young compared to, if they end up crossing over with the X-Men and he's like the same age and he looks the same age as Nightcrawler and Kitty Pryde. That's not going to fly.
I just thought that was the weird thing with him being so young is, hey, let's trust all these 25-year-olds with billions of dollars in technology. What could go wrong? And I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? Like that's almost kind of having a president be 25. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, like I said though, to be fair with his age, it's so he has more space to grow as a character and get
I get
where
that,
we know him.
That's the only thing that's weird.
But the other part, like you just mentioned then, let's give him all the money because a 20-year-old necessarily isn't going to fuck up, or a 20-something-year-old isn't going to fuck up as much as an older one necessarily. It all depends on the person. Because if he's at the height of his professional career, or if he's at the high pinnacle of the intelligence, they would give him the grant money and stuff like that. They do that all the time with young scientists.
I guess I just feel like if you're gonna invest so much money, you want someone with a little more experience. Like you want somebody who's been doing this for like a decade or something, and then like.
Yeah, but someone with a decade may not be necessarily as good as Reed.
This is true.
Yeah. And in all fairness, one much of a difference because, as I mentioned before, and as has been demonstrated, old Reed's not much better.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's the same with any intelligent character in anything, really. There's always moments where they act dumb. Reed's more scientifically intelligent, but he's not necessarily intelligent when it comes to people. Like almost like Sherlock.
I could agree with that.
Fair.
So yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, they have the possibility now to cross over with X-Men, Deadpool.
Yes, they do.
And I think there's another one that Fox owns, but based on how this looks and stuff, I'm really excited. And how cool will it be if you could see the X-Men teaming with Deadpool, as much as they don't like him, and teaming with Fantastic Four to stop Galactus?
That'd be kind of awesome.
That movie just writes itself. Like, I'm sorry, as much as I like Thanos, he's no Darkseid from the DC one, and he's definitely no Galactus.
Mm-hmm.
I think Galactus is just a much cooler villain. As long as he's not Cloud.
Yep. And they'd have the Surfer, too, if they had Galactus.
They would.
That could be
Which they do have the rights to Silver Surfer.
You could have a little mini Secret Wars going on there.
You could. I'd be curious.
Yeah,
what
this
they
has opened up some
call the
possibilities.
movie. The only reason I'm saying I'm curious is because I know Marvel owns Secret Wars, Civil War, and all load of events that were the actual events. So would they have to make up their own name for it? But even if they do, it'd still be cool.
Yep. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think the age thing for Reed kind of works, since they're also rebooting X-Men, so like all the X-Men are like younger and stuff. Because if you think about it, in Marvel Fox continuity, Reed would be no older than Xavier, technically. Because Xavier's like hella young at this point.
That depends, because this looks like it's filmed in. This looks like it's set in modern time. The other one was set against the front of the Cold War, so there is age gaps.
True.
But like I said, that also depends. We have no idea where the hell this is going to go.
Yeah,
but like I said, it looks really fun, and it actually does look like Fantastic Four without as much cheese. Which, while I do like the cheese, I also do like more some stories when they adapt them into a way that's like a film that people can watch and be like, "That's awesome." Like Avengers, it had some cheesy element in it, but it didn't have as much as some comics have had with Avengers. So it's still cool. Right. I like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will probably see this movie. I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to the movie, but at the same time, it doesn't look terrible. So, I'll probably see the movie. I'd like to see where this goes. The trailer's pretty good. What do you two think, Jim and Stacy?
I'm looking forward to this movie because I'm looking forward to a good, Fantastic Four movie again. So, and I say again, not that there has been another one, but I look forward to the other ones.
What about that cancelled one we showed?
That was so bad. It was good. That was so bad. It was good.
That was wonderful. That was so wonderful.
Oh God. But I want to see it have an awesome, good experience, positive experience related to Fantastic Four, and I look forward to that.
Fair enough. And what about Sideways Jim?
I'm willing to give it a shot. Like I said, it looks like a decent movie. I mean, every movie has potential problems, and it looks like they did put quite a bit of effort into this movie. So I'm interested to see where they go with the addition of some of the stuff from the Ultimate Universe, the slightly younger Fantastic Four. It's going to be distinctly different from the previous films, any of them. So I'm interested to see how this film establishes itself in its own identity as the Fantastic Four, and how it ties into potential future X-Men movies if they set the stage for that any year at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting seeing if they decide to try to cross this with any of the other properties they have, because as Moldy pointed out that I forgot about, yeah, Fantastic Four set in modern time, Xavier would be like Patrick Stewart age.
Well, he is Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. I'd be
anymore.
okay. Like, we don't know yet if Patrick Stewart is still signed on for at least one more. It would still be cool to see like Hugh Jack if they can get Hugh Jackman again. How awesome would it be to see Hugh Jackman teaming with Thing and stuff like that? It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for most of them they said that X-Men Apocalypse is going to wrap up that version of the X-Men universe, and that will be the final time that most of the old cast appear. And even the first class ones, most of them are done too.
It sounds like what they're going to do with Apocalypse is use that to reboot it, so everything still happened, and they don't need origins and stuff as much. But going forward, there'll be like a branching new timeline.
They're new 52 in the X-Men.
Sort of, yeah.
Which could be cool.
Or what is it? What is it? I'm all the new MU, the Fantastic Four.
You could go with that, but that continuity looks horrible. Proof that Disney and Marvel can't write their shit, but that's another topic.
That's a topic for another day.
Yeah. See, the difference between New 52 and New MU is New 52, as we pointed out, is more like this, where things happened and it's a spawn point for an alternate, whereas New MU, from what I understand, it's the Disneyfication of Marvel. It's we're gonna erase shit that doesn't fit our vision and fuck everything else, and here's your stuff. It's like, I don't like that.
No, the way the new Marvel one works is in a similar way to Infinite Crisis, which Marvel kept mocking for years and saying was shit storytelling. They basically combine multiple universes into one, and that's going to be the new continuity moving forward. So it's more like your Crisis-style reboot. Some stuff changes, but other stuff's still the same. Like Miles still knows all about the Ultimate Universe, yet he's still around as Spider-Man at the same time Peter is.
Okay, then.
Right.
I don't know. Disney shit. I'm not. Who cares? But yeah, Fantastic Four looks cool.
It does.
And hopefully it will not disappoint, but it's Fox.
Who have also made more good comic movies than they have bad.
Debatable.
Not really. X-Men First Class, awesome. Age of Apocalypse, awesome. The Wolverine, awesome. X-Men 1, awesome. X-Men... What would you call it? And then you obviously with the shit ones, you got like X-Men 2 was shit, X-Men 3 was shit, and Wolverine Origins was shit. There's kind of a big gap there.
Fantastic Four. You can do Fantastic Four too.
Yeah, okay, that's 4. The other one had 5.
True,
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
It's about even.
Howard the Duck wasn't really Fox.
Oh, okay.
Howard the Duck was more like Lucas decided that I'll go make this film for you, and then put in like no effort. Plus, we're not really considering those because we're more looking at the current list of ones since they've moved forward now. Like, if you list DC films, you're not going to be listing Batman and Robin. You'll be looking from Batman Begins forward or from Man of Steel forward because it's the new series.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
But yes, I think we should wrap this up.
Indeed.
This was a good discussion, despite the technical difficulties at the beginning. So thank you three for joining me, and let's look at the Fantastic Four trailer and discussion about the upcoming movie.
Yeah, welcome.
And I guess Pew's not going to say anything. Fair enough.
It looks great. I feel like everything is already been said.
No, he was on about an outro. He was giving us he gave us an outro. He closed it up, which I'm not sure you paid attention to that. Which is why we all said goodbyes.
Yeah.
Yep, I was your host.
Something I want to see, and that was it. I was gonna just wrap it up.
Yes, but goodbye is wrapping it up.
Yep.
Fine, goodbye. I just do my own little thing, but whatever.
Fair enough. That was your host, Marcus Shadow. Join us next week for the final Around the Pound of the Month, where we take a look at our final trailer, Batman versus Superman, The Dawn of Justice. That will be an interesting discussion.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Do you bleed?